story of Everlife.
The story of Everlife.
We're gonna start from the beginning of our band, day one.
It's really hard to remember because it was so long ago.
It's a very intricate, long, happy, sad story, I think.
Yeah, I was 8 years old.
1997, Julia randomly came to me and said,
we should start like a band. And we didn't really know the idea of a band, but we wanted to start one. So Sarah's like, dude, I'm totally in.
And we'd always been performing. Like, our mom did drama a lot, and we were, I started homeschooling, but even when we were in school, we were just really dramatic kids.
We're like, we need to get Amber in on this. And so we went to Amber, and she was really shy at the time.
I was terrified of people. I was just always constantly, if there was a corner to sit in, I would be there, and I would avoid as much, you know, social interaction as possible. I just had such a fear of just people. And so I was like, oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea, you guys, but you know what? I don't know if we could do that. So I gave them this ridiculous list of qualities that they needed to find in a group.
She just threw out all of this crap.
You have to do, this is the only way that I will be in this band, is if you find, she thought she was really smart by saying this. She's like, you need to find another band that's 3 siblings, they write their own music, they play their own instruments, they were homeschooled, they're Christians, like all this random stuff.
And like, my poor little heart was like, it had a sad face in Sharpie on it. And it was just really, really sad for me. And Sarah was determined. She's like, if we have to make it up, Julia, we're gonna find these people.
And I figured, okay, I got them off my back. Because I was like, there's no way I will ever be on a stage anywhere, you know, as me, you know, because we'd done dramas as kids with our mom. And we'd always been in some type of music, but it was where I could fade off into the background. So, like in plays, I'd be the one painting sets, or not being the lead role, you know. So the next morning, we turned on Fox after breakfast, and Hanson was on TV. Girls come running down the hallway, like, Amber, you're not gonna believe this! Oh my gosh, this is so cool! We found them! And I was like, oh no. Everything that you just said is these kids. Like, everything. And she's like, all right, this must be a sign from God. Like, okay, all right. So that night we sang like a Star Spangled Banner for our parents. We're like, we're gonna work at it, you know? Within the week, we had like 3 of our own little songs written. Our parents that Christmas bought us instruments.
Our parents had gotten Amber a guitar and me a keyboard and Sarah a drum set, and we never came out of the basement, ever. Until we realized there were spiders down there, and we moved to my mom's Victorian living room upstairs. That was pretty amazing.
And we just started playing and writing, and we didn't have any limits. Like, we didn't know you couldn't sing, or you could sing covers, so we always wrote our own songs. It was amazing because I remember thinking, oh, we can do this, and not ever thinking we couldn't. No one ever told us for years that we couldn't do it. We started working with some people that knew harmony, and they taught us harmony. And then it was like, anytime we needed a change with what we were doing or we needed to grow, God kind of brought somebody along and was like, hey, here you go. This is just another step in your career or in your life.
Our mom would make up shows and at churches, and like sometimes she would tell us that they called us for the show, but really she had been talking to the person about it. We would do mother-girl conferences, and we didn't get paid. Like, we paid for everything. And then I remember the first time we got paid, and we were all like, we get paid to sing? And we didn't know that at all.
The first one was like $50, and you're just like, we have gas money, we can get home. This is great, you know? We just learned so much about the industry and how it works without having any contact with it. And after a couple years, we met with some people that had worked in Nashville, and it would never been a thought of, hey, we should move away from Pittsburgh, but it just happened. Like, it was another part of our process of growing up.
So yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff happened. It just kind of went like dominoes, really, and we don't really know the shape of the whole set of dominoes yet, but they keep falling. And
we'd signed with a bunch of different labels, And we've met some amazing people, and we've met some not so great people along the way, but we've learned through it all. It's just been a constant process for us of figuring out exactly who we are and what we want to be.
Somehow God threw Disney at us.
We were on a radio tour and just kind of happened in their offices, and a few months later we were at Walt Disney Records and then signed our deal with Hollywood and spent a good year and a half living in that world and learning so much and meeting some incredible people.
And signing with the Disney label and then going on 2 of the biggest tours in the country, and it was still, we were trying to figure out who we were.
And then it was, you know, time to say, okay, are we ready to do this again? Are we ready for another record? And all of us felt like, no, we're supposed to do something different. We had no idea what that was, and only within the past few months has it started taking shape of realizing, even if we're here, Julia always says it best, she said, if we're here to influence the people that influence millions, then we're doing our job.
There was money, there was people, there were heartache and heart building, and now Everlife is here.
I think our biggest thing that we've learned is to never stop. Whether it's the 3 of us doing something together, or Julia writing her own songs and wanting to do her own thing, or Amber wanting to go off and do worship or acting or anything that we've ever thought, we've never had a limit to it. And I hope that that never changes, and that the 3 of us will constantly be together and supporting each other. No matter how old we are, we still want to be on that stage because that's our home.
I'm interested to see how, in just trying to create some songs and perform some shows, is really going to sink deep in people's lives, because everybody relates to music. It's the one thing we can all speak through, even if we don't speak each other's language. So
I don't know. I'm excited to see where Everlife goes. I don't really know.
Miley's mom had called me, and she was like, hey, so what are you guys doing on the 24th, or I think it was the 25th maybe, and we were like, nothing, and she's like, do you want to come out with Miley? And then I heard Miley screaming in the background. She's like, let me talk to her. So she asked us to go out with her, and we're like, why would we say no to something like that?